Hello everyone and welcome! I am Eddie and we're playing Omerta, City of Gangsters. Alright, so in the first episode we finished the character creation and the first mission, and we are about to start the second mission.
Things didn't pan out exactly as I planned, boys. Seems like we'll be having some competition in our new line of work. We're gonna protect what's ours. And if anyone tries to get their dirty hands on it, well, they're in for a beating. The bad news is that our little scuffle scared off some customers. No one wants to do business with us, but we'll set up our own alcohol supply and distribution network. A brewery here, a speakeasy there, we'll be up and running again in no time.
Alright, so in this mission we'll have to be careful of the police. Fortunately their presence is very low, so they shouldn't be much of a problem. And we'll also get 2 more potential team members, and our gang will grow up to 3 people.
Nice to meet you, lad. The name is Emmett, but everyone calls me Doc. I heard you're looking to get into the booze business.
Alright. So this is the first of the new member of our gangs. So let's check him out. Here are his stats. As you can see, his guts stat is very low, which means his courage is extremely low, and he's very likely to panic during a combat encounter. And he's using revolvers as weapons, and he can heal during combat. He's level 2 and he has the tough perk that increases hit points. So let's hire him.
Thanks, boss. Now let's get a wiggle onto that brewery.
Alright, to set up a brewery, we first need to rent a premise. So there are 2 types of building that you can rent: premises and joints. Basically, premises are usually needed for production buildings, while joints are used for building that consumes what you produce. So the brewery needs a premise, and a speakeasy that will use the beer that you produce here will need a joint.
A real boss ain't afraid of grunt work.
So let's also start exploring the neighborhood. And here what do we have? So here we can smuggle some goods in, and for 200 dirty money we'll get a random resource.
That's the spirit, boss. Let's get the beer running.
Alright, so now we have rented the premise, and we can establish one of these buildings. So we need a brewery.
No rest for the boss.
Work makes me thirsty.
Alright, we found some new premises, a joint, another informant, so
I'm a bit rusty, but I'll do it.
here we have a distillery that that produces liquor.
You want something done right?
Ah, we're up to some good beeswax, laddie. I may be half under, but I still know how to run things.
Alright, so we now have a brewery. Every building you have can be upgraded. So here you can upgrade the efficiency of this brewery, and also increase your light rating. Oh yes, we need to upgrade it for the scenario. So the upgrade costs a lot of money. I'm not sure it's actually worth it if you have
Next, We should set up a speakeasy to sell the beer provided by our new brewery.
It's probably more cost effective if you have another premise that you can use to build a second brewery rather than upgrading.
I could murder a drink.
Alright, and we found some more places of interest. And so here we have an example of two new types of building. Residences for people, so here a crime lord, and here a deputy. So if you raise your relation with the deputy, you can use him. Here you see the hit you have generated, which is the awareness by the police force of your activity. If it gets to 5 stars, they start an investigation, and then you need to either bribe them or you can use a deputy that you have in your pocket to stop the investigation. Alright, so now we need to rent a joint.
A real boss ain't afraid of grunt work.
Here we have a celebrity. We can put a scam on him. Oh, we need a warm relation to put off a scam. Right now, let's.
Who called for a doctor? Well done, boss. Now let's set up our new speakeasy.
Alright, so we've rented the joint. And we're going to establish a speakeasy. Speakeasy sells beer and liquor, so that's why I rented another premises. Another premise is now I'm going to establish a distillery, and that where our speakeasy will be more efficient.
Boss, our new speakeasy isn't as profitable as I expected. It seems that we have a bit of a competition in this district.
Right, so yes, when you have several speakeasies in the same area, their efficiency gets lowered. So here we need to either buy this one out or drive him out of business. Alright, so now we have established a distillery. We can also upgrade it, but as you can see it costs a lot of money. Here we can also upgrade the speakeasy. And now we should start to sell both beer and liquor. Alright, so here let's buy them out.
Worth going to hell for?
That way we'll have 2 speakeasies to sell our production. And with 2 speakeasies we could use 2 breweries and 2 distilleries to sell.
Got a lot of work.
So for example here we have another premise here, so we could set up a second distillery. But we don't have any buildings to set up a second a brewery. So what we could do is do a drive-by here, and that will
I won't beat my gums,
it will increase your heat, but it will also drive the owner of the distillery out, so we'll be able to buy the building.
The deal went through, boss. We now own a second speakeasy.
Alright, and so your hideout can also be upgraded. So the first upgrade increases your storage space.
The new place looks great, boss. Now we can expand our operations.
That's how it's done.
Alright, and we've unlocked some more buildings. Oh, here we have a city official, and with them you can launder money, through charity events to improve your relationship, or you can extort them, and it's actually a pretty good way to earn money.
Time to get my hands dirty.
Oh, and here we have our drive-by.
Every dog has its day.
And now we can rent the
I'm
premise.
Brigitte Laval, the best pilot and smuggler this side of the Atlantic.
So this is the new character that I'm not sure if she appeared directly here. She's a melee character, so she uses knuckles, and her special ability allows her to move more. Basically, spend 3 action points to gain 2 movement points. So, and she has the brave perk. I prefer gun wielding, but you can buy a gun and change. You can change the weapons of your guys.
You want something done right?
Alright,
Do it
and we
yourself.
got 1180 dirty money from the extortion. But as you can see, our hit is getting up there. So let's rent this premise,
innit?
and let's rent this one also.
Worth going to hell for.
And we need to, for the scenario, we need to establish a joint pizzeria. So we need to rent another joint.
Every dog has its day.
So here, let's establish a distillery.
that.
Work
And here,
makes me thirsty.
let's establish a second brewery.
Let the dock handle it.
So now we'll be able to supply both our speakeasies and we'll make a lot more money. And here,
Got a lot of
let's
work to
run
do.
this joint and establish the pizzeria here.
I'll drink to that.
Okay. So in order to buy some new weapons, you have to buy them from people here. So here from this crime lord we could buy a knife, which is I don't really like melee weapons. So here from this deputy we could buy pistols. So which is the weapon Doc is using. But we need warm relations with the deputy in order to buy weapons from him. So here we have a gun runner. We cannot buy weapons from here. We can buy firearms, which are just the resources here that you can use for special actions or to sell. But they are not weapons that your character can use. And this one sells revolvers, which is the weapon Squiggs and my boss are using.
You want something done right? Do it yourself.
All right, we rented a joint here. Let's establish a pizzeria.
Got a lot of work to do.
So the pizzeria is a building that will increase the efficiency of all of your other buildings. Alright, we have another informant here.
Worth going to hell for.
Boss, your new pizzeria's making people nervous, and they're starting to fear you.
So fear is one of the two relation meter that you have here. You have the like meter and the fear meter. And fear will I think it gives you a bonus to efficiency, and it also opens you possibilities. Some actions you can only take if your fear meter is above a certain number. And the upgrade here, as you can see, you can increase your fear rating. And this one is pretty useful. It lowers the time you need to complete your jobs. So I like to upgrade my pizzeria because it makes everything a bit faster.
I could murder a drink.
Alright, and now we need to establish a soup kitchen. So the pizzeria increase our fear rating. The soup kitchen will increase our light rating. So we need a premise to establish a soup kitchen. And there is one here.
A real boss ain't afraid of grunt work.
So let's check the stats of Duck. So his courage is really a problem because he will panic very easily and in a fight. But his bandage ability can be really useful. He has 13 and 11 action points and movement points. She has 13 and 12. And she's pretty good. Unfortunately, her finesse is not that high. One thing I haven't done so far, that I think I could do, is hire her and then buy a weapon to replace her knuckles. But her finesse is not that good. Which means her to hit percentage might be a bit low with the firearms.
You want something done right? Do it yourself.
Alright, so now we need to establish a soup kitchen.
A real boss ain't afraid of grunt work.
So with 2 breweries and 2 distilleries, we have some excess beer and liquor. So what you can do is just, well, apparently here it's not activated in this mission. But usually you can come to the job board and sell your excess. And as you can see, our heat is getting up there.
Ciao, ragazzo. My name is Louis Castaneda, and I run this part of Atlantic City. We have some unfinished business.
Alright, so we need to do a mission for Louis. And I think it's right, it's here.
Time to get my hands dirty.
And he's running everywhere, even if he's crossing the whole city, he's going to be running. Run, Forrest, run! Oops. And that will be the start of a combat mission. Come on! Alright, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop this episode now, and in the next one we will start the combat mission to take care of Louis' pest problem. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, favorite, comment and subscribe. Thank you and see you later.